You're listening to WJHS 91.5, The Eagle. Welcome to Media in the Making, a podcast where we look at the evolution of media from 1600 all the way to present day. In this podcast series, we ask, how have different forms of media evolved and changed culture? Media in the Making, where media and culture are always changing. Now let's take a step back in time. Do you think the internet's safe? Just sitting with that thought is enough to make one question their everyday lives on the internet. The internet itself is harmless, with the idea of an entire community of people from everywhere on Earth coming together to make the websites and chat rooms, or that's at least what people want to say is what happens. What happens to many is much worse. Let's take a look. Over the 39 years, the internet itself has grown and become a safe haven for many and a way to communicate with others. Others that share the same interest as you. But on the other side of the internet, hate is spread. Groups of people that hate other groups of people, no matter what, there will always be that hate that thing. 2/3 of the time, this is shown through cyberbullying, cyber attacks, or direct messaging. Let's go through the evolution of mass internet hate groups.
You've got mail.
On the racist side of the internet, you have Stormfront. A simple word, yet in the mid-90s, it was a website that was used to spread mass hate and spread a countrywide white supremacy message. It started in 1995 by an Alabama man who started this sort of American neo-Nazi hate group. It would take almost 20 years to shut the website down, but websites like it are still around, just under different names. On the more widespread of the internet, you have Reddit, a website where supposedly there is a community for anything and anyone. But with this freedom on the website, here comes groups called subreddits of people who create these groups to spread hate with their beliefs. Almost 5 years ago, Reddit fully banned all hate speech, banning over 5,000 communities, which took them too long, seeing as the website has been a thing since 2015. It surely could be one of the internet's largest hate groups centrals, but that's enough of hate groups. Let's go on to something more upbeat, shall we? Support groups, huh? One for everything in the world. Much like Reddit, many support groups are tailored towards the female gender due to them having more problems than men or experiencing more difficult and, just harder things to talk about. But there are very few support groups aimed towards men. One such being Men's Group, which was quoted, "made for men by men." The website is a video chat website where men will hop into other video calls with other men of the same situation. It's been known to help many, and many other websites like this have been created since its uprising in 2010 due to the creators asking the question of a mean, only sporting group type system. The website is still to this day, with small groups of 6 to 10 guys, with situations just like yours that can be helped. This is one of, if not, the most unique support group on the internet. Now going back to Reddit, earlier I said it was and can still be one of the most toxic places on the internet. On one hand, of course. On the other, it is filled to the brim with groups that support certain groups of people, no matter age, gender, race, or wealth. But this was only possible after Reddit implemented the no hate speech policy. There are precisely close to 2.8 million subreddits on Reddit itself, with a big chunk of them aiming towards certain groups of people. LGBTQ, Latinx, and whatnot. And it's really cool when you think about it. Reddit, when you look at its good side, is what some people picture as the ultimate idea of being a safe haven, like the gates to eternity of the internet. It sucks that what could have been the greatest online board of all time isn't used to its full potential and is still kept down by many groups of people. So I want to end my podcast with a question for you. How do you think the internet has changed our lives? Do you think the internet is useful when it comes to helping ourselves and everyone else? Do you think you can go to the internet to find help for your problem, your relationship, or, anything else that's happening in your life? It's a question that someday I hope the world can successfully answer themselves. So before I go on to finishing my entire podcast, I would like to interview a couple people about their opinions on the topic on whether or not the internet is a safe place. So here are some of the people that I interviewed. Go back to the question I asked at the beginning of the podcast. Do you think the internet's safe? Now I want you to answer that question with the most clarity you can. Because no matter how you look at it, the internet itself is a complicated place. It will sometimes be safe and sometimes it won't. There will be people on the internet that try their best to be the nicest they can to the people around them. And there are people on the internet that'll try to just keep you down. And people on the internet that bully other people just for the sake of it. Because no matter how you look at it, the internet will never fully be safe. But we can sure as hell try.